Hey peeps, and welcome back to the Doc series, and more specifically a little bonus episode I have for you guys here today to accompany our main episodic release of the Doc series. So this is going to be a post-commentary recording, and as the title suggests, this is going to be us killing the Titan Dragon on hard settings while solo with the primal Manticore. So in the actual episode that released today, I killed the Titan Dragon for the first time very easily with a unique Rodan. So if you have the unique Rodan, absolutely just destroy it. But just in case that gets changed, or you don't have the luxury of having a unique Rodan, I wanted to do this fight on video with a primal Manticore to, one, experience it myself, just because I want to know what it's like, and I'm glad I did, because this is such a different fight with the Manticore. It's actually very difficult. The Titan Dragon absolutely lives up to its reputation of being one of the hardest fights this mod has to offer. I'm sure if you look down at the timeline of this video, you could see that the entire video length is dedicated to the fight. So it's a slog to get through, and yeah, it's very tough for some reasons more than others that I'll go into a little bit later. But yes, I also wanted to do this just in case someone is also struggling with this fight and wanted to look for a guide to potentially know how others have beaten this dragon. So I will say that this is my second attempt in this recording. I've beaten the Titan Dragon twice, or I guess technically 3 times so far, but twice with the actual Manticore, both using different setups that I'll go into for this video for you guys. And the first setup here, we have Corrupted Max Manticore Armor, as well as the Uber Soul Stone, the Corruption Crystals, and of course you can see on my hotbar all the types of meats that we have. And something that's very important that I want you guys to note with this fight is that I did not use unstable kibble, which is pretty necessary if you're using the kind of speed method that is the Manticore armor, and I'll go into that, I'll go into why a little bit later. But before I do that, let's talk about the other setup you could use for this fight, and that's going to be going for a very tanky build. So instead of the Corrupted Max Manticore armor, which I know a lot of people aren't going to have because that is it's only a 2% drop to get from the Prime Compy with a Manticore chest piece, so most people aren't going to be getting that in their playthrough. I got very lucky and am very lucky to be able to use it in fights like this because it's a 15% damage resistance upgrade over the normal set. So I do think you could still do this fight with corrupted medium armor. You just need to maybe be a little bit more wary, and you might have to use the bigger heals more often. But yes, the other strategy you could use is, like I said, going full tankiness, replacing Manticore with Corrupted X set, and wearing a Corrupted Kairuku Pygmy on your shoulders. And of course, the way you corrupt the Kairuku Pygmy is by putting a Corruption Crystal in its inventory, and that'll give you an extra 45% damage, or rather damage resistance, at the cost of a little bit of your own damage. But if you have the Uber Soul Stone and all that good stuff, it's pretty much negated at that point. And I personally think it's going to be the easier of the two strategies, which is nice because it's way easier to get Corrupted X than it is a max corrupted Manticore chest piece. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the fight recorded where I killed him with the tanky setup. I tried to record it, but OBS had an absolute meltdown and only recorded about 16 minutes of a black screen. So I can't really show that to you guys, so it's just going to be the Corrupted Manticore fight for this video. Now let's go ahead and talk about the Titan Dragon itself. Its attacks are going to be a lot weaker than you think they are. If you fought the Mega Dragon actually deals more damage with its ranged attacks than the Titan Dragon, but the Titan Dragon's bite will absolutely put you on life support. Avoid that at all costs. But other than that, it has a very long range fire breath that no matter where you are, if it uses it, you're going to be hit by it. It's just insanely long range. It has homing fireballs, and of course it has that combination ice breath / lightning ball attack, and that is the dragon's most dangerous move because the dragon can inflict a poison effect on you that is basically identical to the poison effect that the Prime B Vanguard B minions give you, which deletes your stamina from full to 0 for 30 seconds to up to multiple minutes, and that's where the bug, I'm assuming, is in this fight, because I'm pretty sure that stamina drain effect is not supposed to last as long as it does. So avoiding that at all costs is going to be your main priority until that gets fixed, which I have no idea if it'll get fixed soon or not. It might already be fixed by the time you guys are watching this, but if it is, then this fight gets a whole lot easier. You just have to manage a couple of seconds without stamina. But if not, there is a way to prevent it from affecting you. Now, I didn't know this when I recorded this fight, but if you have all of the Dox meats active on your creature, it acts as a preventative, sort of. So as long as the meats are on, you can't get it. But I suspect that it's a lingering effect because in my tanky setup fight, I was very far away from the dragon, and as soon as my meats ran out, I was hit immediately with the stamina drain. So it's not a particular hit that does it to you, it's just getting hit by the AoE of the ice breath, not the electric balls as far as I'm aware, just the AoE of the ice breath, which will give you the timer. Now, hopefully, if you do get hit with it, you have your meats running, and by the time your meats run out, it'll have burnt out its duration, and then you could just apply the meats again and get back into the fight. Now, if you do get hit by it, you have only a few options. One is to just try your very best to avoid getting bit and just fly around and hope that you can survive. Usually your potions will be enough to heal through his normal attacks, especially if you're running the tanky setup. The heals just make his attacks kind of do nothing to you, except of course unless you get hit by its bites. But the issue you have to worry about is later on into the fight, if he has his mega dragons and they show up while you're out of stamina, you are pretty much dead unless you can get out of there very quickly or have multiple of the bigger heals to help you, like the Paragon Elixirs and Corrupted Heals. So that's everything you need to know about the dragon, and this is how I fight it. So as you've been able to see in the videos, I go ahead and get as much damage in as I can until I feel that ice breath attack is coming, and what I personally like to do is duck under the dragon, because that usually gets me out of his range, and also it takes advantage of the dragon's pretty substantial turn radius. So not only does it help you avoid the breath, but it also helps you get distance on the dragon, and that's going to be even more helpful when he speeds up when on low health. Now, you'll see that the dragon very often stops mid-air to do ranged attacks, and that's going to save your life absolutely when you're hit with stamina drain, because he won't be flying and potentially biting you, but that is your prime opportunity to get damage in, because he's stationary and you can land almost every hit as long as you stay just out of bite range, and you can get massive damage on him. And then even as a pretty good Manticore player, when he's moving around, I still struggle with the depth perception of fighting him because he's just so insanely massive. And I'm gonna pause real quick to stop right here, and you can see I've been hit with the stamina drain, so I'm pretty helpless here. I can't fight back and I can't run away, and luckily, while he spawned a Mega Dragon, because I haven't hit the Titan Dragon since that Mega Dragon has spawned in, it is not aggroed onto me. If I did hit it, or if the timing was just a little bit different and the Mega Dragon aggroed, I probably would have died there, just because I wouldn't have been able to run away, and the combined damage of the Mega Dragon and also the Titan Dragon itself would have either super killed me or forced me to use maybe even multiple of the big heals, which are what you want to avoid as long as you can, because they do give your mount some pretty substantial debuffs. But luckily I was able to get away from the dragons, and if you're in this situation and he spawns dragons and you're lucky enough to not have them aggro, you want to get as far away from those Mega Dragons as possible, because if you are far enough away, they will not come after you once you start attacking the Titan Dragon again, which is thankfully what I was able to do in this fight, because I had multiple instances of me getting hit with that stamina kill, and if those Mega Dragons were after me, I'm not sure I would have been able to come out on top of this fight, which is also why I think the tanky setup is much more better, because it gives you a lot more leniency for if a Mega Dragon catches you, you have that tankiness to survive a couple more hits to hopefully get your stamina back and get moving again and try to lose the Mega Dragons. And that is basically going to be the entire fight. Do your absolute best to avoid getting hit with that ice breath, and do your best to stay as far away from his Mega Dragon minions as you can. If you do aggro them, you are going to be vastly faster than them, and thankfully the Titan Dragon is also going to be way faster than them, so you can open up a lot of distance to give yourself breathing room for if you do get hit with that stamina kill, and it'll take a little while for those mega dragons to get to you. Now, for the rest of this video, it's just going to be the fight, and there's two subjects of which I want to talk about that happen in this video. So one, we do get the glitch that happens to us, and this is why I didn't eat an unstable kibble, because when you eat unstable kibble, that means your creature is not able to be soulballed or cryoed during the entire duration of unstable kibble. Plus, it also makes your creature 25% larger, and I want it to be smaller to have a better chance of avoiding that ice breath slow. So thankfully what I was able to do, even though I was stuck with the permanent ISK slow, I was able to wait until the Titan Dragon eventually fleed, and then I was able to cryo my Manticore to lose aggro, fix the debuff, and escape with my life to then restart the fight. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was stuck in the boosted state of unstable kibble. Now, with the tanky build, I absolutely do use unstable kibble because you're built more around being able to survive that damage when it slows you down. So it's more okay when it happens when you're running the tanky build. But if you're running the slightly less tanky, more speed-oriented build with Manticore, being able to cryo is very important. Now, there's no guarantee that the dragon will actually run away, so you're going to have to maybe use your big heals. I only had to use one Paragon heal, and that was when that glitch happened to us, to just try and survive and outlive it until the dragon ran away and I could heal, or rather cryo. And that is what pretty much saved this attempt, that along with the Mega Dragons not aggroing. And a bit later on into the fight, for some reason, the dragon hits me with the Frame Destroyer, and he drops my FPS down to like the single digits, and I have no idea what causes this. It didn't happen again in the tanky version of this fight, so I don't know if that'll ever happen to you, but in case it ever does, the only way that I got it to fix was soulballing my Manticore. So it was an issue with the Manticore, I guess. I'm just so not sure. So take that with a grain of salt. Just a little funny moment that kind of happened in this fight. But yeah, so that's the whole thing. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this video. Hopefully this video was also helpful to those that want to kill Titan Dragon. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.